quo. For more on all of it, I'm joined by Congressman Krisnamoorthi, who sits on the House Intelligence Committee, which is now planning to have open hearings as part of impeachment. Congressman, why take this vote now? What changed?
Well, I think that this vote is not necessary for the impeachment inquiry to exist. Indeed, as you pointed out, Judge Howell last Friday in the D.C. District Court said as much. However, we do need a vote in order to do a few things. One, publish the transcripts of the closed-door proceedings. Two, transfer this evidence to the Judiciary Committee for their consideration later. And then three, among other things, we need to have staff-led questioning in the open hearings, something which currently is not the norm in most public hearings.
So in the public hearings, the questions are going to be what, from attorneys on the staff as opposed to from members of Congress?
I think it's going to be primarily led by staff. I think one of the problems that your viewers might notice with our public hearings is that most times we as members each get about 5 minutes of questioning. And although you can pack a lot into 5 minutes, there's kind of an abruptness to the way that they start and end. And so we hope to have lengthier question periods and also done by folks who are probably going to get into even more details than is normally the case in member questioning.
And also, I mean, to be frank, in the 5 minutes that many members of Congress have, oftentimes a lot of that is eaten up by them making a statement first, and sometimes those statements are very long.
I don't know what you're talking about, Anderson.
Yeah, I know. Not you. Certainly never you. How much of this is in response to the former National Security Council official Charles Kupperman's failure to appear today? Because after he didn't show, Chairman Schiff made it clear he doesn't want to spend any more time litigating this in the courts.
Yeah, I actually think that these aren't really linked because this had to be done anyway in order to go to the next stage, the open hearings. The one thing I can say about Mr. Kupperman is he obviously is not complying with the personally directed subpoena. But as you can see, there's been a stream, a parade of witnesses who've come forward. These are career public servants, oftentimes appointed by Donald Trump's administration, who've come forward at their own expense, putting their necks on the line to tell the truth. And that's very much to be commended.
The House Republican leader, Kevin McCarthy, he has responded to what Nancy Pelosi put out today, he tweeted, saying, quote, "Today's backtracking is an admission that this process has been botched from the start." Obviously, you don't agree with that, but do you see this as at least in part a desire to sort of meet some Republicans' criticism that there should be a full vote on this?
Well, what I can say, it reaffirms what's already occurred. But, I mean, their claims that the process has been unfair are totally unfounded. You know, more than 40 Republicans have actually participated in the closed-door proceedings. They've had equal time to question the witnesses, and they can question them about any topic they want. And they get to make opening statements as well, and they've used that opportunity on an ample basis. So I think their claims of process are unfounded. Interestingly, they don't want to talk about the substance of the allegations, and that's what we really need to consider at this point. So going to a public hearing will really allow the American people to see the substance of the evidence and really decide for themselves, what they think about where the evidence should lead us.
So will all the transcripts of the closed-door meetings, will all of those be released? And what percentage do you think of the people who have come forward so far to be witnesses or to give testimony will be called back to do it publicly?
The answer is I don't know. I don't think that has been decided, and obviously I don't want to get ahead of my chairman, Adam Schiff, on these particular questions. But I think that probably short of redacting for certain maybe sensitive or classified information, my hope is that there be maximum transparency into what was said in those closed proceedings. And in my humble opinion, it was very powerful and credible and compelling testimony in many cases, such as by Bill Taylor just the other day.
Yeah, as I mentioned at the top of the program, Speaker Pelosi says the Democrats are taking these steps to, quote, eliminate any doubt as to whether the Trump administration may withhold documents, prevent witness testimony, disregard duly authorized subpoenas, or continue obstructing the House of Representatives. Do you actually expect this will change how the White House responds to your requests?
I'm not sure. I'm not holding my breath based on kind of the obstructionism that they've presented up to this point. But at this point, I think that we have to do the right thing. We have to hold open hearings, provide maximum transparency into what's happening, and like I said, allow the American people to actually see the witnesses and hear for themselves what they have to say. It's extremely important for this process to unfold the way it should.
Congressman Krisnamoorthi, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anderson.